Oh my God. Hey guys, welcome to Science. We're just going to continue in physical science. This is posted in the science classroom. So what I'm going to do is just going to kind of go through this. There's some reading, and then we'll get down later, there's a periodic chart, and we'll talk about that. So as you look at the title, chemistry, atoms and molecules, one thing I always suggest is reading the questions. So number one, water molecules are made up of. Number two, what does the author describe that the atoms that make up the water? Three, can an atom be considered a molecule? Read the following sentence. Chemistry is very complicated because there are so many different combinations. And then it asks for the main idea of the passage. Then it says, what makes up a molecule of oxygen gas? And explain why understanding bonding is important for understanding molecules. And is that it? And there's incomplete sentence that we'll fix. Okay. And then there's a vocabulary word. And then it asks you to put the passage in your main ideas. So it's really short. And the answers are right here. Okay. So we'll start right here. So it says, what is the difference between atoms and molecules? It's actually pretty simple. Molecules are made up of atoms. Each element in the periodic table of elements is made up of one single type of atom. Molecules are formed when atoms bond, and different types of atoms can form together and make molecules. Two or more of the same type of atom can also be bonded to make a molecule. For example, H is a symbol for hydrogen, and O is a symbol for oxygen. Water is made up of both hydrogen and oxygen. H2O is a symbol for water. So that means there's two hydrogen atoms and one oxygen atom are bonded together to create a water molecule. Oxygen gas is made up of two oxygen atoms bonded together. O2 is a symbol for an oxygen molecule. With so many elements, imagine all the combination of atoms that have been researched and yet to be researched. Chemistry is very complicated because there are so many different combinations. Use information in the reading passage to answer the following questions. So water is made up of H2O. So that would be two hydrogen atoms, because the number after tells how many hydrogen atoms there are. So you always look the number after. So it says H2, that means two of hydrogen and one of oxygen. So the answer for number one would be B. What does the author describe the atoms that make up water? So water is made up of both hydrogen and oxygen. So what does the author describe the atoms that make up the water? To give an example of a specific molecule, to show how liquids are different from solids, to explain why water is so abundant, to illustrate how simple chemistry is. Okay, I think he's just trying to show you an example of a specific molecule. Let's go down. It would be A, and I don't know if some of you might think that chemistry is simple. Probably not. You think chemistry is probably pretty complicated. Let's go and check for number two. Number two is A. So like I said, it's basically, to give an example of a specific molecule. So that's the H2O. Can a single atom be considered a molecule? Let's look up here. What is the difference between atoms and molecules? It's pretty simple. Molecules are made of atoms. Each element of the periodic table is an atom made up of a single type of atom. Molecules are formed when two atoms bond. So it says, can a single atom be considered a molecule? And if we look at this, two or more of the same type atom can be also bonded to make a molecule. So it looks like it's two. Molecules are made up of atoms. Each atom, basically each atom it talks about, and we'll get to the periodic table here, is made up of a single type of atom. So for number 3, can a single atom be considered a molecule? No, it takes 2 or more atoms bond to create a molecule. So it would be B. Let's just double check that. We'll go down here. And you can certainly check all these. So 3 would be B. So 2 or more. Number 4, read the following sentence. Chemistry is very complicated because there are so many different combinations. The word complemented means simple and basic, difficult to understand, fun, exciting, able to be learned easily. Well, for some people, chemistry is easy. It is fun and exciting, but complicated means difficult to understand. And this would be, so it'd be B. And what is the main idea of this passage? Bonded atoms make up molecules. It would be basically A, okay? So number 6, what makes up a molecule of oxygen gas? And if we go up here, O2 is a symbol for oxygen molecule, so it's 2 oxygen atoms. So for number 6, you're going to put 2 oxygen atoms. So explain right here, so it'd be 2, basically O2, 2 atoms of oxygens make that. Explain why understanding bonding is important to understanding molecules. So let's look what bonding says. It says 2 oxygen atoms and 1 oxygen atoms are bonded together to create a water molecule. So it's basically about the complications of those different atoms. So bonding means they stick together. So those, like in H2O, the hydrogens stick to the oxygen, make water. And this one, 2 basically oxygen atoms form together to make the molecule of oxygen. So it's about basically 2 different atoms coming together. They bond together to form kind of a substance like water or oxygen. So it's understanding they kind of hook together, and that's really what bonding means. Okay. For that one. Let me see what they say. Maybe they say it better down here for number 7. Understanding is bonding is important for understanding molecules because the molecules cannot exist without the bond between 2 atoms. Okay. Number 8. The question below is an incomplete sentence. Choose the answer that best completes the sentence. Molecules can be made of 2 atoms of the same element. Then you're going to have, for example, most importantly, on the other hand, therefore, for example, oxygen gas is made up of 2 basically oxygen atoms. So it's giving an example. So you want to use A, for example. Okay. Number 9. Read the following sentence. 2 hydrogen atoms and oxygen atom create water molecules by bonding together. Answer the question below based on information provided in the sentence you just read. One of the questions has already been answered for you. What do hydrogen and oxygen atoms do? They form water. How? They bond together. It's kind of what we just talked about. Okay, so let's go down and look at number 9. I'll show you the answers. So create a water molecule by bonding together. Okay, so let's go up to 10. Vocabulary word symbol. A written sign used instead of word to represent something. Use the vocabulary word in a sentence. Excuse me. So, symbol. I mean, symbols mean all types of things, okay? For example, like in math, for using Roman numerals, X means 10. Prince had a symbol for his name. So symbols represent something. So you're just going to kind of give me an example of a symbol and what it represents. And the last one, in your own words, what was the main idea of the reading passage? And that's really up to you. but it's basically about atoms and molecules bonding together. It's a little bit about chemistry. So you can certainly use anything that you got out of this passage up here, right up here, to put into your answer. And that's really kind of extra. You don't necessarily need to know that, but a lot of times it just kind of asks you to summarize in your own words. Okay. So we're going to go down to, I'm going to have you read this on your own, Matter, and then there are some questions. And you look up here, there's elements, the periodic table, atomic number. And I want to show you the periodic table because that might come up on basically the test. So here is a periodic table of elements, and these are all basically elements that we have basically come up with so far. And you look at the top: hydrogen, helium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, aluminum, cobalt. All the names of the elements are right at the top. Okay. And then what you can see, there's the symbol form. So hydrogen is H, helium is He, nickel is Ni, copper is Cu, zinc is Cn, silver is Ag, gold is Au. So each element has basically a symbol. And then down below, you'll see a number. That's its atomic weight. Okay, so a lot of times it'll ask you, so for example, what is the atomic weight for hydrogen? So you'll go up and see hydrogen is with H, and you see what its atomic weight is. That might be a question that comes up on the science test. They'll have this table here with all the elements, and remember, they all have an abbreviation, they all have an atomic number, and they all have an atomic weight. Okay, so we go down below here. So what is the atomic number of calcium? So we're just going to have to go look, and you guys can fill this in, but we'll do calcium together. We'll go up here, calcium, and you're going to look for calcium. Okay, and then when you find calcium, I think calcium is Ca. It's right here, number 20. So calcium is abbreviated Ca. Its atomic weight is 40.078. And its atomic number is 20. So I think it asks, what is the atomic number for calcium? And if you look up at calcium right here again, Ca, the atomic number is 20, and that's a number right above the symbol. So what you're going to do, you're just going to go in and fill this chart out, and basically there's, I think, 11 questions. And then what you're going to do is go down here, and here are the answers here. Let me see, one other thing. If we look at gold, Au, that number 79 right behind gold's basically atomic number. That tells you how many, basically, if you look here, how many electrons does it have? So electrons is the same as the atomic number. So when it's asking for electrons, just find the atomic number. It's the same thing. For number 4, electrons is the same as the atomic number. So basically, you're just going to use this chart here. This is the periodic table of elements to basically answer the questions. And this box right at the top is the key, and that shows you everything you need to know. So it's got the element number, the atomic number, the symbol, and the atomic weight. And you're just going to go ahead and answer these questions, and all the answers are right here, okay? And then there is one more thing at the end, symbolic atoms, that's right here. And basically, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to use the chart up above to basically fill in this sheet right here. It gives you Mg, so you're just going to have to find, Mg is a magnesium. You're just going to have to find this symbol, the Mg, go up to the chart and fill this basically in, okay? All right, and once again, all the answers are right here. So if you have any questions, you can just refer to kind of the answer key, but go ahead and try it on your own first. And just after you can do the atomic, you can do this first, then just go back up and read these two things. And this talks about matter, and it talks about how the human body contains a lot of those. Our human body contains oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, calcium, and phosphorus. And those are all listed on the periodic chart. So this is all kind of about the periodic chart and also the human body. So go ahead and try to work through this. This is posted on in the science classroom. Then I'll go ahead and post this live lesson too. All right, so I'm going to send you guys the social studies link here shortly. And for those of you not joining me, have a good day, and we'll do a little more science tomorrow. Okay, have a good day.